Hi, and wherever you are in the world, good morning, good evening, or whatever when you're watching this. But last week we shared about procrastination and the causes. And this week I want to share how we can berate ourselves or beat ourselves up. In other words, we tend to judge ourselves. And again, the big question is, can we recover from these conditionings we have? And the answer is yes. My name's Stephen Bones, by the way, and you can work with me if you wanted to using talking therapy to let go of all these energies. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon. So let's just dive a bit deeper and see what I'm talking about. And I'm not talking about physically beating ourselves up. I'm talking about mentally or energetically. And to give you a quick perspective, how many times do we drop something, misspell something, maybe message the wrong person? You get what I'm sort of pointing to. And how many times do we say to ourselves, what did you do that for? What an idiot. Or how can I be so stupid? Right? Are you getting where I am? So what we're doing is we're judging ourselves. And these are simple things that we do on a daily basis, and we do it unconsciously. And if we go deeper, if we didn't make grades or perform what we were expected to, which is usually what our caregivers or our parents, whoever they were, expected from us, then mentally we begin to berate ourselves, we judge ourselves, and then we feel judged by our caregivers or our parents. So all this stems from early childhood. And again, this is my perspective on lived experience, working and helping many people. And I do live a more fulfilled and relaxed life by allowing these things to move through, by doing some work on them. So when we're younger, our caregivers, parents, grandparents, guardians, would be very performance orientated. And this is only one perspective of it, by the way. They would perhaps only give us praise if we actually performed well, whether that's in sport or school or dancing or music or just in everyday activities. This is how they perceive success. So in other words, they were judges, and we would soak that up like a sponge. And this begins when we're very young, obviously. When we learn to paint, read or write, our carers would only meet our needs, i.e. they would only notice us and give us some attention if we performed to their expectation. If we painted something wrong or failed a test or didn't make the team, they would be really disappointed. And again, this is where the judging comes in, and this is where we soak it up like a sponge as children. And that would show, they would actually show disappointment to us as a child, and the child would, that's us for instance, would feel let down that we didn't do it right or it wasn't good enough. And then what starts to happen, we begin to feel I'm only worth the praise and love if I get it right. And do you remember the words through school and growing up where it was often said, you must do better. You do okay, but you must do better. So you get the picture. And sadly, this is how many of us cope with this, because we begin to judge others in turn. So let me go back there. What I'm trying to point to is the way we cope with this is we begin to judge others. So in turn, we may do this to our children. And I know I did this to my children as I wasn't aware how badly it can affect them. I hadn't gone down this road or understood it when they were much younger. And we can criticize in private or in public about an action someone takes. That's what I'm meaning about how we judge others. And if we don't think they're doing it right, or what they're doing meets with their approval, then we judge it. And maybe we think someone is stupid for saying out loud, something that we didn't approve of or we didn't like, then again, notice how we can judge them. Because what we're really doing is it's that judgment that we had ourselves. And that's how it can happen. And it's as simple as that. So I hope this helped. And all this, yes, can be rectified. The exciting thing is rectifying it. When I see people release this stuff, it's quite amazing. So you can go to my website, stephenbones.com, message me. You'll find me anywhere on Facebook. So again, look forward to hearing from you, and speak soon.